Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days, but I am back from Cleveland and I feel like I might finally be over my national hangover enough to actually put together a video.
You don't look good.
Stick around, hear my thoughts, the cards, the people, just all the things national. It was amazing, so stick around.
You're repeating yourself.
Hello friends, I am John and I am the 3D 80s kid. Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here with another video about vintage baseball cards. Oh, what the heck happened there? Was I possessed or something? No. One of my best pickups of the entire show was my very own Chris from Missouri hat, since I missed out on the giveaway there at Strongsville. It was one of the things I was actually looking forward to, was receiving one of these hats, and Chris happily obliged. And for those of you that saw my last video where we had our unconcluded trade that involved some cash, did Chris pay me back? Yes.
Finally, about damn time.
And not only that, he paid me back as if I were a loan shark, with a few points on that loan, and
Grazie.
he would not accept me returning any of the extra money he threw at me. So, thank you very much, Chris. You didn't need to do that, but then since you wouldn't take it back, I put it to use. So thank you. Not only that, it turns out that he was actually then staying at our Airbnb house that ended up, it was originally planned for a dozen of us to be staying in. And thanks to a water main breaking at his intended hotel, a week or two before the National, he ended up at our house, which was a surprise and very welcome addition.
Well, you're always welcome here.
Chris is a wonderful guy and has the greatest stories, and it was fun hanging out. And one other thing he ended up doing was that I was showing the three cards I brought that I showed in the last video to trade, of which one of them was a 1926 W512 Rogers Hornsby strip card. And Billy Ballgame happened to be with Chris at least that first night before he went off to a different hotel, and he wanted to buy that card. But Chris wanted to help him not blow his money before he made his big purchase, which if you haven't seen it, go check out Billy Ballgame's video where he shows the really big card he did eventually pick up. So go check him out.
You can't tell us anything.
But so in order to do that, Chris ended up buying that Roger Hornsby card from me. And funny thing is, after he paid me the money, he checked his lists, and he actually owns that card already in the grade of a 4, and he bought my authentic as well. So I guess he bought himself some more stock for his next card show. So
You're funny, Chris.
But thank you for that, Chris, as well. So, now I had money in hand, and I could actually go do some business at tables. So what did I pick up? Well, first day of the show, I was scanning every table of the main building quickly, relatively, because I only had a few targets floating around in my head.
Your eyes are like lasers. I know.
Optimal target that wasn't meant to be was to find a low-graded Honus Wagner game card. I'm talking 1913 National game, Tom Barker, or the 1914 Polo Grounds game. But I had a few other cards floating around in my head that if the right opportunity came along, I would pounce. And I went through the entire room, I felt like, of the main tables, or the main room that day. As you enter the main hall, there was one main room, and then there was a secondary room to the side that was almost the same size, but I didn't know that yet because I'd only been in the main room, which was huge. I've never been to a card show anywhere near this. Literally, the history of my card show attending involves, as a kid, the tiny Civic Center in the middle of my 15,000 people town. There were 2 or 3, I think, during my collecting time, 89, 90, that occurred there. And then there was also the monthly show that occurs in Portland, Oregon, in the middle of a dying shopping mall in the what I would call the downtown area, but they get snooty about their neighborhood name, so it's technically not downtown, it's Lloyd District, but whatever. And that's where occasionally Adam, Vintage Sanctuary, and I meet up to walk and talk, and occasionally there's one or two vintage dealers that actually show up for that show, but on the general, it is shiny modern basketball is the number one thing, probably secondarily shiny football, and then shiny baseball. So, with the local team here being the Portland Trailblazers, I think basketball ends up being king, but that does not interest me in the slightest. I'm looking for old cardboard of baseball players at this moment in time. So,
Like it, I love it.
So then this show is just monumentally huge. It's unlike anything I've ever seen, but it's still a baseball card show. There's just a lot more tables to view, but I think it helped me having the narrow band of only specific vintage sets and cards that I was kind of targeting. So it allowed me to pretty much quickly scan through tables and quickly walk the floor. I think it would have been more overwhelming to me if I came with a large list in mind and multiple eras, and having that narrow focus made it go fairly quickly. That
Well, whatever works for you.
just even the preview day starting at 3:30, I was able to scan through what I thought was the whole of the main room for the specific niche I was trying to look at cards of. I did happen to find a table on the way back through that I had missed, and with about a half hour left in that first day, and turns out I spotted something that was on my short list, and it fit the bill, and as I looked at it, I also then got surrounded by Drew of Vintage Legacy and Dom, Staven Sports Cards were there, and they were then seeing the card I was looking at and gave me the push to say, that card looks great, and so go for it. And I went for it, and I was kind of shaky as I pulled the money out. I was tired at that point, but
No stamina.
it was worth the wait to find this card. And this is worthy of hand modeling, especially since the Drew was with me, and I happen to have something with me from the Drew. So let's take a close look at my new card. So as you can see, I am now the proud owner of 6 of these gorgeous handcrafted wood stands for my graded cards to be displayed prominently. As you can see, wonderful craftsmanship on these guys. Nice build to them. A great slot there that works great for my SGC slabs, and it's going to be nice to be able to use these to show cards more closely in videos moving forward. So maybe I'll do a little bit more hand modeling. Ooh.
Oh, honey, nobody wants to see that.
But here we go. The card I've got that Dom and Drew were there to encourage me to purchase is none other than this gorgeous 1933 DeLong Jimmy Fox card. This would be in the category for me of I knew I wanted a card from this set, and once I saw this one, I couldn't shake the feeling that this is the one I had to have.
It will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine.
I just thought it was a gorgeous shot of him with a swing follow through there. Gonna treasure this one for a long time moving forward, and was able to get it in a really nice looking one with some gorgeous blue and color to it. Works great for me, as I am not grade specific. If it looks good from a distance, that is good enough for me, because that's the way I usually see these things. So, the back itself, nothing to speak of really on this set that's that special on the back, but decent quality there to read what's on there. And this is now found. It is temporary location until I cease to exist from this world.
It's up to you to hang on to it.
So let's break the cherry of me using these card stands with the card that Drew witnessed me purchase right there. So that was not the only card I picked up. Thanks to also bringing along with me two other cards that I was able to trade to dealers. And these were the 1928 Yuenglings Bill Terry that's got the photo of Zeb Terry, as well as the 1934 Goudey Charlie Gehringer. With being able to trade those cards in deals that I made, I was able to pick up this other card here, which was also, on my list of top tier Hall of Famers where I wanted to get a card from them soon. And this is my favorite shot of his. So let's again zoom in and take a look at this other card I picked up on my list. For my second and final national purchase, it's another card of a legend where I looked through his catalog, and this was the one I wanted. It's the one that spoke to me with what I wanted to be his representative in my collection, and that would be this 1939 Playball Hank Greenberg. Just love the portrait shot on this one. And yes, I know it is currently mis-slabbed, but I will get that soon corrected when I do my next SGC order.
I'm gonna fix that up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So, my next grading video, expect to see this one as one of the cards. And here, let's take a peek at the back. Not the greatest looking quality to the back, which is perfectly fine for me if that's what contributed to that lower grade. But the card to me presents really well with the portrait quality on the front on this one. So I love it. All right, let's place that one right over here then.
It looks great.
And for my final purchase at the show, this was not actually a card for me. This was a case where, as I stated, I was commissioned by a friend of mine who spoke on it, and he's fine with me sharing. It's Doug over at DK Cardboard, commissioned me to pick up a card that, once he showed me the photo of that card, I was like, yeah, that is a Doug card. He loves the unique poses and looks. He's also very fond of a red background card.
He has very specific tastes.
And this one fills the bill nicely on both fronts. And as it turned out, when I'm buying a card for someone else, to me it feels so much more pressure than buying a card for myself. I enjoyed the hunt, but I did not want to get something that he was not going to like. So
Don't screw this one up.
I kind of felt like I had to adopt the Adam Vintage Sanctuary mindset to this approach. And as such, I scanned the entire facility for this card before I was willing to plop down money for it. Fortunately, this is not a player that transacts at any kind of high volume. It turns out the exact card has 75 graded copies, which was also an information I wanted to pull, and have at hand. I wanted to know exactly what it's been transacting at in the few transactions it has. And, I had a budgetary range to work with that he gave me that, when comparing it to the sales, was going to work quite nicely.
Today, the key is preparation.
And after examining the entire facility, I found 4 copies of that card in the building out of the 75 graded copies in existence. And I went then back to the table that had the prettiest one to see what the best deal I could work for him was on the card that looked the best. And so let's take a look at this very Doug card. Let's turn things around. And now for that card I picked up for Doug. Let's start out with the back of the card. As you can see, this baby has authentic caramel staining. And we all know what that does for the value. To the moon, baby. And some of you may have an idea of what set this is from the back. And sorry to tease you, but I'm going to leave it at that. I am going to let Doug show this gorgeous card on his own channel and leave you wanting more here with just the back of the card.
You're an asshole.
That is DK Cardboard. Look for an upcoming video from him as I've got it ready to be mailed off here. I have to say that the Thursday night YouTuber gathering was definitely one of the highlights of my show experience. There were so many people there. It was amazing. So many people I got to see that I've been seeing on screen watching YouTube videos, and many of whom have been interacting with in the comments. And one of the things that even surprised me was how many people approached me saying hi first, that I had no idea they knew me. They don't comment on my videos, so I had no idea they were aware of who I even was. And even some people that I was coming up very excited to meet that approached me and were excited first. So it was pretty awesome, to say the least.
So you had a good time, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyed yourself?
Very much.
And I did collect quite a bit of then YouTuber paraphernalia to share. So let's take a close look at all of these items I gathered in my experience there. Real quick, before I show the YouTuber-specific items, I do want to give a quick shout-out to the Penny Sleever. Isaac, I guess owner-operator of that business, was there at the YouTuber gathering, gave us a bag that had a whole bunch of freebie sample items to try out. As you can see here, the magnetic card holder, top loader. We got all different thickness top loader samples. We've got graded sleeves, we've got the penny sleeves, we got thick penny sleeves, and team bags. So it really was a generous little sampler package that he was handing out. And funny thing I learned is that the silly card that we altered at the end of Hobbypalooza and gave away, that was our For Collectors channel card, but the one that we all marked up silly. Pepino put a cat face on himself. Sammy Thunder marked up some funny stuff. It was originally the card that Theo had marked up and marked loser next to me when we were playing around with the 71 Clemente card, and I turned Theo into a pirate on the card. But it was Isaac that actually won that in the prize giveaway at the end of Hobbypalooza. So that was cool to find out who actually picked that up. So now let's look at my YouTuber items. First of all, huge shout out to Eric of 4 Leaf Cards, who once again did the All-Star team and was able to hand me this star for a second year in a row. Thank you very much to everyone who voted for me, and even thank you to everyone who even participated. This is a great community thing to shout out, channels we like watching, and it's a good thing for us to all participate in and bring attention to channels that are doing good work. So very much appreciative of this item. I'm, very honored. So thank you to everyone, and especially Eric.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
So, moving on from that, I've got a Chris from Missouri card, who we had the good fortune of getting to spend time with him at our crazy Airbnb house, as well as Jason, Everyday Card Collector, was there with us. I got 2 of these because I ran into John Newman separately from Danny Black. So I ended up with 2 autographed copies of the card mentions. Thanks, guys. At the party, I ran into Brian, the high pop professor, known to many of us as Iconic Al's brother, but, making a name for himself in his own right. Great card there. And got a coaster here from Doug, a Video Guy 316, who's doing great work himself with the video editing. I can certainly appreciate a man who likes to do some editing of their clips.
Kindred spirits.
Then I've got a card from Cardboard History. Sat with him a little bit, along with Lou of Godlike Collectibles when we were upstairs at the gathering. It is not focusing on that, really, is it? Oh, I don't know. Now, talking ball cards, this is one that really shocked me because I have credited, if you go back, don't watch it, but for some reason, if you need help sleeping, you could go back and watch my first video, or try to, and try to stay awake. I am very wooden and slow-paced. It's horrible to watch.
Wow, you're really selling me.
But in that video, I credited 2 folks primarily for inspiring me to even start collecting vintage cards, one of whom was Mike Baseball Collector, Golden Age of Cardboard. It's usually a primary entry point for most of us that are in this vintage space. The other one I cited was Paparazzi, John. of Talking Ball cards and shocked the heck out of me when he came up super excited to meet me first. So it was kind of a cool thing that, he watches all my stuff and he's one of my inspirations to even start collecting vintage. So that was really awesome to meet you, John. So another John, Wade Boggs fan. This one's a great card with Wade Boggs. Somebody, it'd be a really cool thing to get this actually autographed by Wade Boggs also. I'm sure John himself has probably already done it, but it would be kind of cool. So that one there. Ran into Rick Rocket J, 18 Rick here. He gave me both his rookie card as well as his newer one. I wasn't around last year to collect his rookie card, and he's got a new one, and I had him autograph it for me. So thanks, Rick. It was great to meet you. Then we've got Legends Never Die. Jake Brewer gave me his card that actually has his, his softball stats on the back of that one. So clearly a softball legend. So ran into RJ Collects Sets with a cool card there. That was like myself, got one made back when Topps was doing it, and it was a lot easier to do. Clearly with Fanatics, I don't ever see that coming back, unfortunately, because I can't believe it was a profit center, so it's never coming back with Fanatics. But
Bastards. Bastard-coated bastards with bastard filling.
Really cool, RJ. Big Phillies fan, clearly. And I got a chance to talk quite a bit with Big Scott 35. He gave me one of these autograph cards of him. It was great hanging out with you, Scott. And we'll need to try to do some maybe collaborations in the future between your lives or our lives or, something like that. I also ran into Victor, the rookie card specialist. He did appreciate getting one of my cards, which I still have a handful left, because I did actually put a rookie card logo on my rookie card there. So he did enjoy that fact. But also got a sticker in here with his. So good stuff. And Al, just, Iconic Baseball, gave me the whole series run of cards he's done. I think, I don't remember which one was his rookie. Was it the 52 or the 87? I don't know for sure. But then he gave me one of his new ones, the awesome T205. And he gave me the option even to get one of the 5 ones that is in pristine condition as opposed to the distressed versions that most of them were in. So really cool. Awesome custom card there with this T205 version. So nice stuff. Thank you, Al. It's great to meet you. All right. That is my YouTube card collection expansion, which is a massive expansion from what I had. So thanks everybody who I met. It meant the world to me to see you, for you to, care that you met me. It was awesome. So thanks everyone.
Oh, it was amazing.
And now the last thing I have to share are some actual cards I received as gifts from my friends at the show or at the house. And so let's take a close look at these items here from some amazing people.
And Joe.
All right, so now as far as card gifts, the first one I got when I got into the house was from Joe over at Four Soft Corners, who gave me a little packet that had a couple cards that are direct needs for my Halt Flame player run, and that would be highlighted by this gorgeous 1962 Topps Orlando Cepeda. Really nice card, Joe. Thank you. That is going in my next SGC order for certain. Those ones are backwards from most, aren't they? As far as the flip goes. Nice card there. Thank you, Joe. And the other one being this 1980 Gary Carter with him in a pile of dust trying to get the call as it's out, but looking at his face, I don't think he got the call he was looking for. Really nice copy of that one. Thanks so much, Joe. These will work great in my collection. That's ding ding, 2 more off the list. So my next gift was given to me by Chris from Missouri, who previously had sent a gift included when he sent me cards that were involved in the trade. He had sent me this card in the past. which is the Tony Gwynn rookie card, specifically because during the conversations with this, we were doing the rookie card rankings on 4Collectors, and I was the producer in the background who would pop in and butt in, pun intended here, because on this one, this is the Tony Gwynn Big Butt card, clearly. And I made quite the point of that. And so now Chris decided to gift me then this rookie card with the Tony Gwynn Big Butt. And so now at National, he brought me another copy of the Tony Gwynn Big Butt card. Thank you, Chris. Not only that, Chris said that now every time he sees me, he's going to bring me another Tony Gwynn rookie card. So I am looking forward to, I guess, my goal at this point is to be able to fill an entire case of Tony Gwynn rookie cards someday.
It's helped me to have a goal.
Because I really hope to see Chris at least that many times. So, this is going to be fun. Thank you, Chris. We'll throw that one up here. All right. So my next gift is one where I ran into Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards, and he had this very special gift for me, which he says is a card with absolute perfect Dylan centering. And the fact that he's willing to give up a card with perfect Dylan centering, to me, is quite meaningful because, you know, he talks about the rarity of those things all the time. So how could he possibly be willing to give one up? So here it is. It is the 1951 Bowman Dan Bankhead card, of which this is the first black major league pitcher in baseball history. Unfortunately, he could never overcome the mental obstacle of throwing a baseball that might hit a white person. So, and feeling like that would be resulting in a very bad outcome for him. So, he was not able to have too much of a major league career, but he was the one who first came through the door as a major league pitcher. So, thank you very much, Dylan. I will treasure this card as I know you treasure all of your cards that are in your collection. So, thank you.
I love it!
Double shaka on that one. Alright, my last gift was from another member of our crazy Airbnb house, and that would be Matt over at the Card Story, who was gifting cards aplenty to people as he's trying to narrow down what he's collecting down to player runs right now of Aaron and Spawn, and just started purging a lot of stuff, and he does not want to bother taking the time to sell it, so he is gifting it. And he very generously gifted me this T205 Bobby Wallace Hall of Fame shortstop of the St. Louis Browns in a very pristine one card there, which, yeah, I know it's the old SGC slab with the old original gold there, so yeah, I will have to pay the $15 to make it match everything I have, because I'm crazy that way, but
Obsessed.
Such a generous gift. So, thank you very much, Matt. I will treasure this card forever. Alright, there we go. There are all of my purchases and gift acquisitions. They're all nicely lined out on these gorgeous wood stands. You know, let's bring Jimmy Fox out into the forefront again. Oh, it's some gorgeous cards there. So, lots of great stuff. Thank you, everybody, for gifting all the different things. So,
hey, thank you, guys.
So, ultimately, what are my final thoughts on the National? It's a really big card show.
No duh.
But what really brings it for me is the people. And this is going to be a gathering point annually for so many people that I want to be able to see, interact with, talk to, spend a little time with, and as such, I don't think I want to miss it again. I think this is going to be annually on my calendar that I am going to go to this event. And on top of that, it also really makes me want to try to make it to Strongsville as well, where it'll be a little bit more of an intimate feel to it, with it being a much smaller show where you can see everybody around, and it's still then all the cards that we, in our tight-knit sort of group really, really do care about.
So old and crusty.
So, honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever done. Probably the best, group male bonding experiences I've had since college.
Your life is sad.
So if any of you are, considering attending a future one and you haven't yet, I would recommend going for it. Trying to form up a group with the people that you interact with the most and getting a lot more time with them face to face, because the experience is just worth it. I mean, we are social creatures, and that face-to-face, in-person interaction is just so valuable to our whole mental well-being. So, on that note, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Well, see you next time.
Yeah, unless I get lucky and break a leg.
I've a smile on my face.
They might be giants. They might be giants.
Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Everybody hurt.
He won that. It's a major award.
So here's the check. It's the biggest check we've had, $5,685. So
guys,
that's awesome.
I'm not speechless very often, but just to hear 75 people getting behind this and just giving us a check like this, I mean, that's goosebumps. This money is going to help so many homeless and disabled veterans. Thank you guys. I really, thank you.
Time of my life.